Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Double Dosed. Both of my kids have had heart transplants. I'll tell you all about it. But before we get started, I want you guys to please subscribe, like, share, and comment this video, okay? So, thank you so much. Stay tuned. We're about to get in the video after this little cute intro. Okay, that was so cute, wasn't it? So adorbs. Alright guys, so let's just jump right into it because I watch a lot of YouTube videos and they're like and they take forever to get to the point, so I'm not going to do that. Here we go. First baby, Haili, my beautiful princess. Yes, so I got pregnant with Haili back in 2010. And I was excited. I was becoming a first-time mommy. Super stoked. And I gave birth to her by C-section because what happened that day? Oh, I wouldn't dilate anymore and her heart rate was acting crazy inside because it was taking forever for me to dilate. She was born full term. No complications during my pregnancy. Everything was like perfect, everything. But when I brought her home, like 2 weeks later, she started having breath holding spells, which they said was normal. You guys know how doctors say, oh, this is normal. That's what they told me about Haili. So when she would have her breath holding spell, she would hold her breath for about maybe 5 seconds and then come out of it. And then she did this about 3 times. So the first episode happened at 2 weeks. She had another one about a week later. That was 3 weeks old. And her fourth one, she was about 4.5 weeks. Really close to 5 weeks. So the third one is when we actually had to call the ambulance because she held her breath for more than like the 5 second span. She went to about maybe 10 or 15 seconds if I can remember clearly. Let me rewind you guys back to that day, okay? So she was acting weird that day. Like she didn't want to eat. Like she would eat, but she wasn't eating like her normal self. And she was really, really tired. So, I kept an eye on her just to see how she was doing. But something was telling me something wasn't right. That mommy intuition. You moms know what I'm talking about. So, when it was nighttime and I was upstairs in my room, my mom was downstairs. So I was upstairs in my room and she was just really faint. Like she was just like that. So I was like, okay, not normal. Something's going on. I took her downstairs to my mom and I have her like this. Like I'm holding her, not this high, but like close to my chest area. And I go, Mom, here. Because I don't know what to do with my first child, you guys. I don't know. Something's wrong. So my mom takes her and she looks at her and she's like, okay. She starts rubbing her back like this. Kid you not. She starts rubbing her back and she's like, okay, you need to call 911. And I was like, okay. So I'm dialing 911 and my mom is blowing air into her face, like to keep, I guess, the airway open. So she's blowing into her. The ambulance is on the phone with me. I'm telling them where to go, like our address and stuff. Okay, crazy time. Tell me why the ambulance got lost. They went to the wrong house. So they had to dispatch another ambulance. Okay, crazy night. But ambulance gets there. They take her down to the hospital. We get there. And oh my gosh, you guys, they are doing a lot to my baby. She is small. She's only 5 weeks old, okay? So instantly they're getting it's a thick needle and they're sticking it inside of her shins to, I guess it brings oxygen. But I didn't know what the heck it was at the time. I'm a new mom. Like, we only go to the hospital for, like, you know, little checkups and stuff. We never ever been somewhere like for something like that, really tragic. So they're poking needles in her legs, like in her shins. She's screaming, but you can't hear her because her voice is like gone, and they're sticking the breathing tube down her throat. So they have the things going in her shins, and they have they put the breathing tube in her, and you guys, it was just like, it's really scary when you see your child like that. It's really scary. Basically, from that hospital, it wasn't a children's hospital, so we had to go to a different one. And the different hospital was Children's Memorial. I was in Houston at the time. That's where I lived. So it was at Children's Memorial. They took her there. And when we got to that hospital that night, they were telling me, oh, your daughter's not going to make it. They brought the chaplain in. They took us in the big conference room, which I did not want to go in the conference room because, to me, when you go in the conference room, it's never good news. I'm like, okay, I don't want to go in that room because they don't have good news. And of course, they didn't have good news. So they take us in the conference room. They're telling me, oh, your child's not going to make it. They bring the chaplain in. You guys, I get to my baby, and she is unrecognizable. Like, she is so puffy, and she has all these tubes connected to her. She has a whole bunch of monitors, like, on each side. Okay, mind you, this is my first kid, you guys, my first child. So I'm seeing her connected to all this stuff, and it's overwhelming. It's very overwhelming. So we were at the hospital. She got in there, admitted. She was 5 weeks old. She was 3 months old when she got her breathing tube out. And we finally got to hear her voice again. And it was so, like, weird hearing her again because I haven't heard her in so long. But she got her breathing tube out, and she sounded so cute, you guys. Like, it was like a relief. But she didn't get her transplant yet, but it was coming. We didn't know it was coming so soon, but it was coming. She wound up getting her transplant when she was 3.5 months old. And that was a good day because my baby had a second chance at life. And when you're a mom, the one thing you want is your child to survive. So I was happy, like, I was really happy that my baby was getting her heart. And I was also sad because I know another child was leaving. And when you're a mom, I don't know, you guys, like, you have to understand, when you're a heart mom and you're receiving a gift of that magnitude, it's a lot, you guys. It really is, and it does something to you. it makes you look at things differently. And I can look at them differently today. And I'll get to that on why I said that. Because back then, I comprehended it, but I don't think I fully comprehended the whole gist of it. You get what I'm saying? Because it was my first time going through that. My first time. So I knew what was going on with my child, but everything was happening so fast, and I was younger, and I'm trying to understand new things coming at me, like process everything. I understood it, but now I fully understand it, if that makes sense. But anyways, with Haili, because we're gonna stay on Haili because I get sidetracked really fast, you guys, sorry. But okay, with Haili, while she was in the hospital, when I had her, I was breastfeeding. And during that time, I was really stressed out. My milk started to dry up, and I had no more milk supply. I took fenugreek, which is a supplement to help milk supply. It was doing the job, and I was smelling like maple syrup. Like, I don't know why fenugreek makes you smell like maple syrup, but hey, I was walking around smelling like a good old pancake, you guys. And my milk was just depleting. I was too stressed. So, we went from 5 weeks old all the way until she was about, I think she was 4 months. We got released from the hospital. Yeah, about 4.5 months old, she was released from the hospital. That was a good time. She made it through the process. No complications in surgery. Everything was great. It went wonderful. I had family support. The kid's dad was there. It was good. Haili, she's 8 years old now. You guys, she is a big girl. She's 8 years old, so she's doing a great job. And I wrote it down, but about like what a heart transplant is, and it's a surgical transplant procedure performed with end-stage heart failure. And the survival rate for post-op transplant, 1 year is 87%, 5 years is 77%, and 10 years is 57%. So my baby is going to surpass that because Jesus, God, is watching over her. She'll be just fine because I have faith, and we're going to surpass the survival rate of the heart transplant, okay? Because God has the final say-so. Just like he did when they came and told me that she wasn't going to make it. God said, yes, she is. So, yes. I just had to throw that in there, okay? Okay, so, other things with Haili that she got after transplant. Transplant patients have to take a medication lifelong, which typically are Prograf, aka tacrolimus. That is a immunosuppressant drug to help protect the heart. So it keeps the body from fighting the foreign organ inside of the transplant recipient's body. Okay, so after transplant, Haili, I think a month later, she developed something called hydrocephalus. And that's where you have water on the brain. It makes you have a larger head. So I noticed her head was getting bigger. And I'm telling the doctors, hey, something's wrong with her head. It's large. It's larger. And they're like, oh, babies have bigger heads. And I'm like, okay, the first time the doctor told me that something was normal, she wound up being in the hospital. So now I'm telling you guys that, hey, my baby's head is big. I know I have a big head. Her dad has a big head too. But her head is huge, huge. So I'm like, okay, that's not normal. So they go ahead and do like a little ultrasound. Oh no, what do you notice? There's water on the brain. So they had to do an emergency VP shunt. Excuse me. They did a VP shunt on her brain. So she has a shunt on the right side. Now this is after transplant. So she developed hydrocephalus, I believe, from being resuscitated inside of the helicopter because she was life flighted to the Children's Memorial Hospital from the little hospital where we were, because we lived in Sugarland, so she had to be life flighted to downtown Houston, and yeah, so that's why she was life flighted. But during the helicopter trip, she had to be resuscitated, and I think that's where she got the extra water on her brain, because she was almost 5 weeks old, and she's that little, getting resuscitated with the electric shock things. So she developed hydrocephalus, and then I'm just fast forwarding real quick for you guys to give you Haili's story, because I have two. So she also has hemoglobin C trait. PTLD is a potentially fatal disorder arising after transplant. Most common post-transplant malignancy. So Haili does receive the antibody drug rituximab, and it's a standard treatment to treat the malignancy PTLD. She gets the rituximab for that. It's like a non-radiation type drug instead of using chemo. So Haili has all of that working against her, but Haili is a bright young girl. She's sweet, she's caring, she loves to learn, she loves music, she loves watching videos. If you look at her, you would not know that anything ever happened to her. Like, you would not know. She has literally come a long way. But, going through that the first time, all that stuff, I look at things a different way. And a lot of the things I do now is because of that experience. With transplant kids, they have to have a heart healthy diet. And that's how I became to... Ouch, Aiden. That's how I became to really get more into health. Like, I like my kids have organic things, non-GMO, because they are transplanted kids. And I'm like, I don't want anything else working against them if I can help prevent it. I'm their mother, I'm their caretaker. Like, I need to make sure I'm giving them the best things possible to surpass that life expectancy on them. Okay, because it's already hard enough that they even have that. But God has the final say so. But I still want to make sure that I'm doing my part as a mom to give them the best. So that's the story of Haili. I will insert her pictures of her journey. Okay? I'm thinking maybe I should do like a separate video of showing their journeys. And you guys, you're gonna freak out and see like how much alike they look. It's so freaky, like seriously. But yeah, I'll post like Haili's hospital stays and little videos. I'll do like a full video of hers, and then I'll do Aiden's. So speaking of Aiden, I know you guys see this little microphone, boop boop boop, right here. This is Aiden. Let's come down. Oh my goodness. This is Aiden, you guys. This is Aiden Hunter. Say hi, baby. Say hi. Say hi, Baba. Okay. comment, like, subscribe, and share. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. I said comment, like, subscribe, and share. Subscribe and share. Subscribe and share. Yes! Okay, thank you guys for watching this long video. See ya!